Yo, what's up my Marvel loving people? To my generous subscribers, I know I haven't posted a review in a while, but if you follow my Instagram or my TikTok, you will notice I do post my non-spoiler reviews on there too, but it is significantly shorter. But as I was saying, I watched Plane and Babylon and I forgot to do YouTube reviews on them. But anyways, that is not the matter of the video right now. The main topic of today's video is Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. I recently came back from the Dubai premiere of Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, and here's my spoiler-free review. Before I talk about the full movie, I want to talk about the event in general. Dubai premieres never fail to impress me, and they just get better and better each time. Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania is easily the best premiere that I've attended so far. It's such a well-crafted event to fulfill amazing experiences to all audiences. I even got to take really fire pictures like this, which is by far my favorite premiere picture. But besides the excellent event, let's get into the review now. Peyton Reed, you have received impressive new levels of direction. Forget about that one big SNL episode, aka Thor Love and Thunder, because Thor Love and Thunder was just so easily bad and just felt like one big SNL episode, while Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania can have some humor, but genuinely brilliantly done humor. And the way the humorous scenes happen in this film really work out and give the audience a really good chuckle. And they work out so greatly because the direction style and the actors can transition the comedy scenes to dark and dramatic really smoothly. And almost all of the jokes in this film did not feel forced, and especially having an actor like Paul Rudd, who is just so charming at heart and never fails to make the audiences laugh. As well as comedy wise, I want to talk about MODOK in this film. MODOK is easily predictably played by Corey Stoll, who was previously the Yellow Jacket in Ant-Man 1, and the way they told his origin story of how he became MODOK was actually quite creative, and I thought it was not bad at all, and just a plain out good approach. Overall, the looks of MODOK and his character in general is so ridiculous and wild at the same time, while being unbelievably funny 80% of the time. He's just so silly and he has such a huge ego, but he's just so dumb at the same time while also being lovable. It looks so uncanny to see his official look in the film, and I will agree, in some shots the CGI do look kind of bad, but it really caught me by surprise that the CGI of MODOK really did well than I expected, because all I've been seeing on social media is like, oh, MODOK is such a horrible character and his CGI is so bad. But then when I watched the movie, I was like, what? His design is not even that bad, and the CGI is not that bad. But as much as I did love MODOK on screen, he was such a waste, and once you watch the movie you will know what I mean. Now of course, how can I forget about the absolute legend Kang the Conqueror, played by Jonathan Majors. Anytime Kang the Conqueror is on screen, you can just tell he's such a threat at all times, and you can't take your eyes off of him at all. He's already automatically way better than Thanos. He's a complete manipulator and is incredibly powerful, while also his character story was really well written and made a ton of sense. Kang the Conqueror is just so special to me, and I feel like he's going to be so special to everyone also, because he's such a unique MCU villain and already the best MCU villain. If you've noticed the recent MCU formula, the villain is bad and then they become good at the end. That does not happen at all in this film. Kang the Conqueror is a completely determined and serious villain and does not crack a single joke in this film, and is completely obliged to finishing the mission that he set out for himself, and is super serious. If I could describe him in 3 words, it would be shocking, menacing, and threatening. The whole time I saw him on screen, I was just saying to myself in my head, he is literally the Darth Vader of our generation. Especially the movie in general, how they went along with the sci-fi vibes, gave off major Star Wars vibes, just within its exploration of the quantum realm, like having a Darth Vader type of character like Kang the Conqueror, and his army kind of reminds me of Stormtroopers, and all of the characters that are in the quantum realm and all of the monsters that we'll be getting introduced to are so memorable and quite goddamn weird. Each type of character you would see in a scene just gives off some major sci-fi vibes and Star Wars vibes as well. And the thing is, that's not even a bad thing because they do it so successfully. I think by far this is Jonathan Majors' best performance. He just completely murdered the role of Kang the Conqueror, and I don't think anyone else can top his performance as Kang the Conqueror. Other than Kang being the main star of the show, I feel like the Ant family is very underappreciated. The way they approach the story of the Ant family, like with Scott and his daughter Cassie, as well as Janet, Hope, Hank, they are such a wonderful, sweet, cute family in the MCU, and their care for each other is so delightful and highly determined. They will literally do everything for each other. And I feel like one of the highlights of the film for me was Scott and Cassie's dad and daughter relationship. It was just too sweet not to enjoy. And I feel like the character development and the relationship was way too overlooked, because for me, I feel like the character development was quite good but flawed at the same time. Also, one more thing I will praise is the CGI and the VFX in this film go so overlooked, because this is by far one of the best and most underrated CGI and VFX I've seen in all MCU films. It is visually so purely stunning in most shots. There were even some scenes in here with with just amazing VFX, which genuinely gave me goosebumps. Though I will see in some shots and in some other scenes as well in this film, the movie does suffer a little bit of bad VFX, and I will admit in some shots there are some noticeable volume soundstage, but other than that I really enjoyed that aspect of the film. And you know the VFX is that good. If it grips you within the story so well, it makes you have some extreme goosebumps. Overall, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania is just such a silly and fun and dramatic and dark film, and quite hilarious with amazingly done humor. I just thoroughly enjoyed most of it, for what it was for. Even though some of the film did feel like it was like episode 1 of the new saga, I saw it as a perfect ending to the trilogy, and the best Ant-Man movie out of all of the three. While of course I will admit this film not being for everyone, and it being a little bit flawed out, it is already genuinely in my top 5 MCU films. And I'm totally being honest, this is not even like recency bias or whatever. I mean, you literally get an amazing bone-chilling performance from Kang the Conqueror, from a movie which has MODOK and the Ant family going against them being trapped in the quantum realm, in addition to telling an excellent story, while also having such a well-balanced comedy and dark moments. I feel like general audiences would leave before the post-credit scene and would feel like the movie is disappointing from that ending. I will say that the post-credit scenes completely assure you that it's not disappointing at all. So if you're looking to watch Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, make sure to watch those 2 post-credit scenes, because those 2 post-credit scenes are generally one of the most craziest post-credit scenes I've ever seen in the whole MCU. It made me cheer, it made me super shocked, and that certainly did make me super hyped for the next future in the MCU. Easily one of the most insane post-credit scenes of all time. Overall, my overall rating is an 8.5 out of 10. I mean, you can't even call me a Marvel shill, because I did state my flaws. It's lovable, it's funny, it's wacky, and quite campy in some aspects. I enjoyed and loved the hell out of it. This is 100 times better than Thor: Love and Thunder and Doctor Strange: Multiverse of Madness.